My dear students, today I am going to give you a review on one of the most popular and famous inorganic chemistry textbook among students as well as teachers of Indian subcontinent is The Principle of Inorganic Chemistry by Puri, Sharma and Kalia. It's a perfect companion of Indian University. Why? There's no doubt that the curriculum, the syllabus of university, the entire syllabus of university, whether it is BSc, MSc or MPhil and so on, the inorganic chemistry syllabus which cover the entire portion will be covered in this book, and this book is written in a style and in a pattern or organized the chapters in such a way that which will be suited to the syllabus of universities. That's the reason why this is one of the perfect handbook as well as a best teaching material for the students as well as teachers of Indian universities and other institutions. So we are going to discuss on the review of this book and the cover picture. This is my own book and I bought it in 2010 when I completed my 12th class. So when I'm using this book, not only at the time of BSc or in my MSc also and in my research career also, this book, knowing a basic science background and a mathematical background, that's not too much. In the contents we will discuss later, we can understand they are using very layman language and to support students as well as teachers. So move on to the next slide. This is the 31st edition that I have bought in 2010, and the authors late Professor B.R. Puri, Professor L.R. Sharma, Professor K.C. Kalia, all are belongs to our Indian authors and are professors of chemistry in Punjab University, various departments or institutions under the University of Punjab. Professor B.R. Puri is an emeritus professor. He is Punjab University and the Dean of Physical Chemistry and Inorganic Chemistry Wing, Chandigarh. And Professor L.R. Sharma, he is also the Dean of Department of Chemical Engineering and Technology, Punjab University, Chandigarh. And Professor K.C. Kalia is a Department of Chemistry and Inorganic Chemistry Dean, Punjab University, Patiala. Okay. The intention of these three authors who know the university syllabus well and very well, the intention of the authors is to support students as well as the teachers to cover their syllabus in a hassle-free manner, because they are also working in a university, so they know the difficulties that the students as well as teachers facing due to the lack of a perfect inorganic textbook. You all know that Puri, Sharma and Pathania, another author, is a professor. They have contributed physical chemistry textbook also. In both physical as well as inorganic chemistry, the perfectness is because the applicability and the popularity is because of the acceptability among students as well as teachers, because of the language and the pattern, the diagrams, the way in which the chapters are organized. That's the reason why this book is most among the popular and wide applications and is sale. The sale of this book is a 31st edition in 2010. Now it is almost a 15th edition also, I think. So the popularity and applicability of this book is due to the intention of these three authors, and thankful to them because their intention is successfully implemented in Indian universities. So without this book, I think it is very difficult because no other inorganic textbook, like whether it is Hohe's textbook or J.D. Lee's textbook or M.C. Day's theoretical chemistry textbook, that's unique in themselves in their own ways. But this book that gives you the basic concept of inorganic chemistry, and if we are moving to discuss on these features, the book is mainly focused for students belonging to BSc, MSc and competitive examinations like GATE, CSIR, JEE, UGC NET, UPSC and SSC. See, in the case of UPSC and SSC, You know that for civil servants we have to choose an optional subject, right? For SSC also we have to select some chemistry background examinations. There are geology examination is there. So in those cases also we can rely on this book, because this book that provides problems also at the end of each chapter, and the concepts are, the language used is understandable to students who is having a minimum basic +2 science background. Yes, a minimum +2 science background is sufficient for understanding the concept, because we have to know the basics, right? And if we know English at least, we can read this book as just like a literature. That's the way they are explain the concept. That's a speciality. That's a special feature of this book. The language they have used. Chapter-wise organized pattern, condensed problems, elucidations, and language are suitable for the syllabi of the Indian universities, and hence this book is a perfect companion for students as well as teachers during their curriculum. Yes, this book indeed a perfect companion to professionals as well as researchers who need basic understanding of concepts. Yes, indeed, if you are pursuing your career in inorganic chemistry, or those who are still in inorganic or chemist or R&D assistant in inorganic chemistry field, you can rely on this book to understand the concept, the basis of certain concept. If you forgot about something, so if you have this book, you can rely on this without any doubts, and 100% sufficient, 100% result will be obtained. And more than that, buy this book. A copy of this book is good for you if you are a chemistry pursuing. If you are pursuing for a chemistry career, buying this book is a good option for you. Okay, the inorganic concepts are organized in 41 chapters, so you can know the volume, how the content is. 41 chapters without any separate appendixes. Entire concepts are well elaborated with the necessary supporting facts. We will discuss in later. This book is a best in understanding coordination chemistry. Elaborated the subject into 6 separate chapters. So the last point, coordination chemistry. So the chapter name is coordination compound. They have separated the topic coordination compound or coordination chemistry into 6 separate chapters. You know what's the importance of that chapter is. So there are many books that deals with coordination chemistry alone. So there are books. So if you have this book, it is sufficient. No need to buy any other books, because the concepts are well organized. Because when we discuss in the content size, the first chapter is on old and the traditional theories. Second on the modern theories. Third on their mathematical quantitative approach. Fourth on thermodynamic approach, and fifth on their kinetic approach, and so on. So the beauty of this book is that their arrangement, their pattern, that will amaze the students as well as they support the students. If you are a GATE aspirant or a CSA or UGC NET aspirant, JEE or a UPSC aspirant, if you face any difficulties, you can rely on this book and you can understand the concept in a layman language, and you can apply the concepts into applications that they have provided in the problem sites, and this is a perfect companion for you. So move on to the discussion on the contents, 41 chapters. So you can see the wave mechanics concept. Directly we are moving to the chapter 1, the wave mechanical concepts of atomic theory, as we have discussed in MC Day's book. Just like that, Puri, Sharma and Kalia, they begin the book with a history so as to aware the students in a way to connect the wave mechanics quantum theory with the inorganic concept and systems. You can see the subtopics under the main topic, the wave mechanical concepts of atomic theory. They have arranged in a very well manner and in a pattern that's suitable for the students, right? For the students, it's support. For a BSc or MSc student, you must buy this book as a copy. You must buy it because the price is not too high. I bought it in 365 rupees, in 2010, but you can buy it from any academic bookstore, but you will get a discount, and even in Amazon also it is available. So Rutherford nuclear model of atom in the first page, Planck's quantum theory of radiations, photoelectric effect. Entire quantum theories and their mathematical expressions are explained very well. No doubts, no ways to say how they are explained, and it is an easy language. It's a plain language they are using. Okay. It is evident from the first look that the entire subtopics in each chapters are organized in tally with the syllabi of our university institution curriculum. Yes, no doubts that if you choose your university syllabus in chemistry, you can find the same. You can easily use this book as a reference material to study the topic. A very difficult topic, they are explained in a well good manner using a plain English. So, second topic, the periodic table and atomic properties. The long form of periodic table, cause of periodicity, cause of recurrence, the properties, division of elements in the SPDF blocks, atomic properties, entire electronegativities, Pauling scales, Mulliken's approach, experimentations, everything they have explained in the second chapter on periodic table and atomic properties. The third chapter, molecular symmetry and group theory. Remember, this is an addition to this 31st edition. In their preface, they have mentioned this is an addition to the 31st edition, molecular symmetry and group theory. They have added certain subjects, their applications also, symmetry operations, symmetry elements, general relations, and set of symmetry operations as a mathematical group, and applications of group theory. See this case, applications of group theory, that is an addition to the 31st edition, and the preceding editions will be contain the same, and the previous edition, 13th edition, will not contain this case. If you are planning to buy a book, buy the newest version, new edition, and or the 31st edition at least, because previous editions lack of many contents and many additions, diagrams, etc. So if you are planning to buy it, buy 31st edition at least, otherwise the newest edition. Move to the fourth chapter, chemical bonding. Okay, the normal chemical bonding principles, ionic bond, variable covalent bonds, and their approaches, how the MO treatment, molecular orbital treatment, Valence bond theory, and resonance treatment, and Walsh diagrams of H2 molecules, hydrates, carbon dioxide molecules, ammonia molecules, etc., metallic bond, hydrogen bond, everything, van der Waals forces, London forces, intermolecular forces, everything explained as per the patterns suited for the universities and the students' need. And also, if you are a tutor or a teacher, whether it is you are a plus 2 teacher or higher secondary teacher or a graduate teacher for the graduate students or MSc students or MPhil, or if you are a research students, you can rely on this book, because the concepts are well explained, because the authors are also belongs to the university, because they know the bread and butter of the Indian universities and their syllabus, their patterns and all. So that's the reason why this book find more popularity among the students and teachers. See, this is the advantage. No other inorganic chemistry textbook, you can see this one, no other inorganic chemistry textbook available now have taken this hybridization and shape of covalent molecules as a separate chapter, because you can see there are many chapters they have separately designed for the students or teachers to understand well, because in this chapter they have taken the hybridization alone as a chapter and discussed well. Hybridization, the salient features of hybridization and the wave functions of hybridization, VSAPR treatment, geometry of many elements, many molecules and all they have explained. And finally, the structure of solids, the crystalline amorphous solids, size, their interstitial, Bravais lattice, types of crystals and so on, in their solid state chemistry, that and the structures of ionic crystals, lattice energy calculation, and Bond's equation, Born-Haber cycle, Schottky defects, semiconductors, fabrication, transistors, etc. They fail to explain with the Exer diffraction. We have already discussed in the previous MC Day's theoretical chemistry also, theoretical inorganic chemistry textbook also. They fail to explain anything about Exer. That's the only drawback I have found here. But you can see the same in physical chemistry textbook there. Non-aqueous solvents, the 7th chapter, classification of solvents, liquid ammonia, liquid hydrogen fluoride, everything, liquid dinitrogen tetroxide, liquid sulfur dioxide, and so on. Acids and bases, Arrhenius concept, Lex flood concept, leveling effect of solvent, dielectric constants, measurement of acid base strength, and so on, and HSAB principles, and so oxidation and reduction. So oxidation number, galvanic cells, single electrode potential, sign electrode potential, and so on. They have uses separate diagrams and energy illustrations for explaining this chapter. Ford-Bikes diagram, Frost diagram, Latimer diagrams, those are not available in any other textbook. They have included this in order for use this book for the MSc as well as MPhil students, because in MSc Frost diagrams and Ford-Bikes diagrams are a necessary topic for gaining more marks. Metals and metallurgy, this is another topic. They have explained very well. Occurrence of metals and thermodynamic treatment, hydrometallurgy, electrometallurgy, etc. And 11th chapter on hydrogen alone, and its position, why it is positioned separately in periodic table, normal course of war, active hydrogen, atomic hydrogen, ortho-para hydrogen, etc., hydrates, heavy water, tritium, and finally the main group elements, the 12th chapter. So they have added some features into it, and there are some drawbacks in the previous edition. They have cleared it and added many features. The transition metal elements, main group elements, inner transition metal elements, the 12th chapter on main group elements, general characteristics, and move on to the 13th chapter, the elements of the group 1. They have discussed group 1 wise, group 1 and group 2 on the 14th chapter. Their atomic, ionic, radial, entire, periodic properties, chemical properties, physical properties, thermodynamic, kinetic, everything they have discussed in detail. That in plain English, that suit to understand the students very well, as well as to support the teachers to teach the students in such a manner to make them understandable. Okay, so it is a friend to not only to the students alone, but also to the teachers too. The 15th chapter on elements of group 13, 16th chapter on elements of group 14, carbon groups, the elements of group 15 on the 17th chapter, and the elements of group 16 on 18th chapter. See the element, the discussion of each particular elements, their complexes, their compounds, how they are preparing, their metallurgical aspects, chemical aspect, reactivity, everything they have explained in a very perfectly that suit to the students to understand very well. The elements of group 17, the 19th chapter, and the 20th chapter, elements of group 18, the noble gases, and 21 chapter, the D block elements. Okay, the general characteristics, the main, the heart of the periodic table, the D block elements and their characteristics. The 22nd chapter, the elements of first transition series, scandium, titanium to zinc, and their behavior, their aqueous chemistry of each elements, the elements of the second transition series, the elements of the third transition series in the 24th chapter, the F and D block, F block elements, and the inner transition elements, their properties, their electronic configurations, lanthanide contraction, actinide contraction, and how they are preparing, their occurrence and their scarcity, and everything they have explained. Now we are moving to the 26th chapter. And what is the specialty of 26th chapter? That is the coordination chemistry, the beginning, the initial stage of coordination chemistry, the part 1. The coordination chemistry or coordination compound, the chapter is divided into 6 separate chapters. The part 1, the 26th chapter, which comprises of the initial stages, the initial advancement in coordination chemistry field. The Werner theory, you know the Werner theory, he is considered as the father of inorganic chemistry. Father of chemistry is Lavoisier, Antoine Lavoisier, but the father of inorganic chemistry is considered as Werner, Alfred Werner. The Werner's theory, IUP is in nomenclature, stereochemistry and isomerism, optical isomerism in coordination compounds. That's the first part. So you know these parts are only 4 parts, and we can explain it in 4 or 3 pages, 4 or 10 pages maximum. But Puri, Sharma and Kalia, they have explained very briefly, as well as in each topic their subtopics are considered as an essay type. So we can rely on this. If you are not understand the concept, you can read the descriptions. So you will definitely, I'm sure this book will, if you buy and read this book, it will be a perfect friend to you. Okay. Moving to the second part of coordination chemistry, 27th chapter, modern theories. Due to there are certain lacks of limitations to the Werner theory, still it is one of the important theory in the initial stages of coordination compounds. Coordination compounds, the part 2 consisting of modern theories. Modern theories, VB theory, valence bond theory by Linus Pauling, crystal field theory and molecular orbital theory. They explained the main points, shortcomings and crystal field theory, their importance, why it is widely acceptable theory because of it can able to explain the entire properties of coordination compounds, even though there are some limitations which is removed by, which is realized in the MO theory, though MO theory also has some limitations. So finally CFT-MO, that's a combined theory, was initiated. Move to the part 3 of chapter coordination chemistry, part 3, which comprises of quantitative treatment of crystal field theory. That's the reason why they have introduced or begins the topics or the chapters from quantum mechanics or wave mechanics, because they have applied the quantum theory or quantum mechanical aspects to explain the quantitative treatment of crystal field splitting theory or CFT in tetrahedral complexes as well as octahedral complexes. So you can see that why the derivation expressions in determining electrostatic potential of octahedral, tetrahedral and tetragonal cases. So this part, this chapter which require, the 28th chapter which require a basic understanding of calculus 2, because many calculus mathematical derivations are observed in this chapter. So you need a basic understanding of integration and differentiation. And the part 4, the 29th chapter of coordination compound is discussing the thermodynamic aspects of crystal field effect and Jahn-Teller effect. Jahn-Teller effect is nothing but the distortion from the normal geometry of complexes. That is explained Jahn-Teller effect. That's the importance of Jahn-Teller effect, the distortions in the symmetry. And 30th chapter on coordination compounds, part 5 on electron absorption, that is the spectral and magnetic properties of complexes. That's using crystal field splitting theory. So you can see how they have elaborated the subject into. So if you are in a research field as well as if you are in an MSc, so in order to understand or you want to pursue or excel your career in inorganic chemistry, this is a perfect blank book, because you can rely on this book to understand the concept. If you know the foundations, if you know the basic, then no point. No, so you don't need to, you can excel your career in this field. Okay, so for that, must buy this book. So they have elaborated the concept of electron absorption spectroscopy, magnetochemistry of transition metal complex in a separate chapter. So these are available only in 31st edition. Okay, so and other editions not below. If you want to buy 31st edition, at least 31st edition, not 13th edition or below that. Okay, And the 31st chapter on coordination compound, part 6 on reaction mechanism, the kinetic aspect of coordination compounds. Even in Huihi textbook, it is considered as the Bible of inorganic chemistry. Yes, because it is widely popular among the entire world, right? In the wherever they are using, the universities around the world. But this book is popular only in India, because the language they are using is in plain English, so that we can simply say that it's an Indian English. So this is organized in a pattern to cope up with the university syllabus of. That's the reason why it is popular only in English in India. And in Huhi textbook also, they have not elaborated many concepts like what I seen, what I studied in this book. Okay, so 32nd chapter, mononuclear complexes of pi acceptor ligands like carbon CO, carbonyl compounds with nickel, palladium, platinum, and their metal complexes. This is an additional chapter to 31st edition. Metal clusters. This is an important chapter. Carbonyl clusters, Wade's rule, halides types clusters, several phases, and all. So in metal cluster is a separate chapter in MSc. So organometallic compound, that is the 34th chapter. Organometallic compound is a small topic in BSc level, and in MSc it is a second. In third semester you may be able to study this, and almost all the syllabus in MSc will cover in this under this topic. Okay, in this book also. So organometallic compounds, the basic definition: ionic organometallic compounds, group 2, group 12 to 15. Organometallic compounds, multi-center bonds, pi bonds, aromatic character, and move on to their classification, 18 electron roll and all. Addition in 31st edition, inorganic polymers. This is a new chapter they have added. Inorganic polymers, that is phosphorus based, boron based, sulfur based, chiral salts, silicon based inorganic polymers and all. They have explained their structure, two-dimensional coordination, their theories, as well as their chemical properties, and in their chapters under this topic, inorganic polymers. You may be find the reason why it is a perfect companion to Indian university is that it covers the entire inorganic concepts systems, not only limited to certain topics. That's the important point. Because when we move on to the last chapter, it will be clear. Inorganic nomenclature. I think only in Puri Sharma's book or Kalia's book we can see this chapter. You cannot find these chapters or this kind of arrangement of chapters or a student-friendly pattern or teacher-friendly pattern not in J.D. Lee's book, not in Huhi's book, not any other book. This is the reason, a student-friendly pattern. This book, the inorganic nomenclature, many students or even teachers also find difficult to spell or write, or if you ask a doubt, they are unable to answer in some cases. Why it is written, why sulfur S8, why it is written, why it is called allotropes, why the pseudonames and everything. So everything is explained as per or illustrated as per the rules of IUPAC, right? International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry. They have put it in a separate chapter, inorganic nomenclature, writing the symbols of elements, formula, name of the compounds in general, name of ions, name of the radicals, isopolyanions, heteropolyanions, the name of acids, why it is called acids, salt, addition of compounds, neutral hydrous, boron hydrous, etc. And move on to the 37th chapter, bioinorganic chemistry, and myoglobin, hemoglobin, and other sodium pump, calcium pump, biological functions and toxicity of some elements, etc. Environmental chemistry, a separate chapter. You can see the last chapters are clear examples of the author's intention on its popularity among students as well as teachers in India. So in Indian University, they have added environmental chemistry, bioinorganic chemistry, nuclear chemistry, analytical data, volumetric, titrimetry, and all these details into our syllabus. Okay, so this chapter is a unique book for university. Okay, the environmental chemistry, you can see that chapters, there are subtopics, and move on to the 39th chapter, nuclear chemistry, the basics of nuclear chemistry, the release of fission energy, and its enter the Geiger-Müller counter, radioactive traces, carbon dating, cyclotron, artificial transmutation, induced radioactivity, Q values of nuclear reactions, nuclear Coulombic barrier. That it covers from the old history to the modern history, from the beginning to the modern concepts and research findings are also included in this book. Finally, the 14th chapter is on evaluation of analytical data. This topic is important in MSc as well as MPhil PhD students for their thesis work and for their PhD examinations too. So, errors, how to find errors, determinate errors, precision, average, accuracy, research methodology. This topic is under the research methodology. So, if you want to study, you don't need to rely on some other books. Buy this book, only one copy. So, sufficient for you to complete your till PhD and so on. You can rely on this book. Finally, the 41 chapter. From plus 2 standard, from plus 1 onwards, you will need, if you are a chemistry background, if you want to pursue in chemistry, you know the basics of titration, and this chapter is for volumetric titration. The terminologies, basic requirement, P functions, acid-base titration, theory, mathematical expressions, redox titration, EDTA titration, indicators, titration curves, EDTA titration, quotients, volumetric corrections for unavoidable errors. Everything they have explained so as to support the students as well as teachers. And finally, the index and international atomic masses and long form of periodic table they have appended. And move on to a brief view on the chapters and examples. The chapter elements of group 14. So this is the chapter, the inside of a chapter. So elements of group 14, you can see it's here a carbon disulfide. So it's elements of 14. They have taken carbon compound and their preparation physical properties. So they are not only taking explaining about a single element, they have explained about the properties of the major compounds that involve that particular group 14 element. Okay, this is the way how they are explained in other groups also. Preparation, physical properties, chemical properties, and how they are preparing. See, this book can be used as for competitive purpose also. Sodium xanthate. What is sodium xanthate? So the structure is here. Okay, so we can rely on this book for your study curriculum. Okay, your study curriculum as well as your teaching curriculum also. And to move on to the structure of solids, that is the solid state chemistry. As I said, no mention on XRD. Chapter on structure of solids, solid state chemistry is well elaborated in this book as per the curriculum or syllabus basis. Types of crystals. See, you can see the language, very plain language is used, and when you see this, the pages of this book, the content, the chapter wise contents, it is just like a textbook. That's familiar to the students, right? So it's written in a way or a style that a plain English user to support the students, right? To understand the concept, not to complicate it, right? That's the intention of the others that's successfully implemented. And the hybridization part, I have already mentioned that they have put a separate chapter for hybridization and shapes of covalent molecules. They have elaborated the concept in separate types of molecules. A separate chapter for describing the hybridization and shapes of covalent molecule, use of wave functions, that is wave mechanics. DSCBR theory explained the concepts in many molecules. In most of the inorganic textbook, this topic is being given in a small room under the main topic of chemical bonding. Yes, indeed. When you take any other inorganic chemistry textbook, J.D. Lee's, Huh's, and anybody's, you can see this. There is no separate chapter for this topic. So many students find it is difficult, but using this Puri Sharma's book, this concept will be very easy. Move on to the molecular symmetry and group theory. So this is an addition to the 31st edition. They have added certain additions to this edition. The first addition is that relaxation of selection rule for electronic transition. They have added this concept. Secondly, study of electronic absorption spectra using plain polarized light. Third, study of the symmetry, group theory using character table. This is the character table. And a discussion on applications of group theory. So these are the 4 additions that made in 31st edition. So if you want to buy a copy, you must either buy at least a 31st edition or above 31st edition. Beyond that edition, do not buy any editions below 31st. Okay. So discussion on this coordination compound part 1. So you can see the chapter and the questions they have added here. After completion of each chapter, they have added the questions that perfectly in matches or in the pattern of university syllabus. The initial stages of complexes, Steins, isomerism, nomenclature and Werner theories explained in the part 1. The questions, they are objective type questions also they have added, as well as essay type questions also added. In many in India, they have traditional examinations are there, so they are using these questions for their students to test. The second chapter on part of coordination compound is the modern theory, VB theory, crystal field theory, MO theory. So you can see they have used diagrams and see the elaboration, the description. So they have using plain language, so the students can read this very easily in an understandable way, and also teachers can explain to their students in an easy manner. Okay. See the questions. Once completion of the part 2 crystal field splitting theory, you can see the questions they have arranged here. See, from 1st to 8 or 10, they have given objective type questions. See, you can see that. From 11 to 17, they have give evidence. See, essay type questions. You can see that the similar type of questions were asked in your university traditional exams. So they are also depending on this. That's the reason why this book is a companion to Indian universities and their syllabus. So you must buy a book for this. The same model of these questions are repeatedly asked in our curriculum examination. So new chapter addition to 31st edition. Coordination compounds part 3. Quantitative treatment of crystal field theory. This is one of the chapter which is added into the 31st edition. And this using quantum mechanical approach. You can see the quantum mechanical approach and the use of integration and differentiation as well as the matrices using mathematical derivations for electrostatic potentials in octahedral, tetrahedral, tetragonal and crystal field splitting, energy dq, basic plus 2 knowledge in calculus is sufficient. So you should have a basic plus 2 calculus understanding. So this type of questions are usually come in this syllabus is come in MSc. Okay, so this is the new chapter addition to the 31st edition. Move on to the coordination compound part 4, thermodynamic aspects of crystal field theory and Jahn-Teller effect. You can see some thermodynamic aspects of crystal field theory and Jahn-Teller effect. So it is explained in a elaborated manner, but it is for the need of students. This is a very tough topic. You know, this is a very toughest topic, thermodynamic, as well as this chapter, the new chapter addition to 31st edition, the quantitative treatment. But the way in which they have elaborated using the table structures, mathematical expressions are very understandable to students. Moving to the part 5, 13th chapter of coordination compound, electron absorption spectroscopy, magnetochemistry of complexes using spectra. Okay, so you can see the atomic spectroscopy. They have initiated with the theories of atomic spectroscopy and move on to step-by-step manner. They have move on to the difficult topic, but their explanations are clearly for in order to support the teachers to teach their students. And to move on to the same part 5, use of diagrams, illustration, pictorial representation, above all, the use of plain English, the simple language, support the readers to understand very hard concept too. That's the reason why I'm said the teachers can teach their students these hard topics in a very easy manner, because they have explained each diagrams. In the left side you can see that this diagram, which is explained in elaborately here. And D3 metal ion in octahedral environment, they have explained their theoretical electronic spectrum here, and the orgel diagram also represented in below to that diagram. So you can explain these cases too. If you are using a PowerPoint presentation also, you can capture these pages and you can explain to them. So that's the applicability, that is the popularity of this book among teachers and students. Move on to the last chapter, reaction mechanism, on that deal with the kinetic aspects of complexes in various environments. See, you can see the unimolecular nucleophilic substitution reaction SN1 and bimolecular nucleophilic substitution reaction in SN2 in coordination compounds. You may have a doubt that SN1 and SN2 is only heard in organic chemistry. No, it's also the same mechanism or kinetic aspect applicable in coordination compounds as well as organometallic compounds also. So here they have explained the reaction mechanism in a separate chapter. You can see their diagrams and how the SN1 and SN2 reactions are applicable to these coordination compounds. See, you can see that inside of this each chapter, I have pasted here the complex, how it is the desired complex is formed, and how the mechanism behind it they have explained using schematic diagrams as well as the pictorial representations too. And move on to the final pages, additional chapters to 31st edition. So the 32nd chapter, mononuclear complex of pi acceptor ligands. This is also a part of complexes as well as organometallic chemistry. This chapter is a new one, pi acceptor ligands. Pi acceptor ligands nothing but is about back bonding. You know that metal having filled d orbital, so after forming a coordinate sigma bond, the metal donate the electrons from d orbital to the vacant d or p orbital of the ligand, thereby forming a d pi p pi back bonding or p pi p pi back bonding. There are 3 types, so they have explained very well. In the 33 metal clusters, about carbonyl clusters, you know that iron dodeca carbonyl compounds. So carbonyl clusters of ruthenium, rhodium, iron, cobalt, osmium, iridium, platinum, and polyoxometalates, halide type clusters, everything they have elaborated. These polyoxometalates and all are modern theories. So we can say this book we can consider as the principle of inorganic chemistry. We can call it as a better name, modern inorganic chemistry. So 34th chapter on organometallic compounds. You know, I have used this book since BSc. So I have read almost all chapters for my studies. Organometallic compounds, they have explained the concept as well as reactivity and mechanism, everything with the examples, suitable examples in this chapter. Chapter on inorganic polymers, I have not pasted the front page. Inorganic polymers, you know, see here you can see that the silicon polymer, inorganic silicon polymer, and boron polymer, graphite, carbon graphite, polymeric boron nitride, graphite and boron nitride, their properties, their layer polymers, their 3-dimensional network, and silicon based polymers. They have explained almost all inorganic polymers in a separate chapter. Okay, we can't find a book like this. So the final chapters are based on university curriculum. Inorganic nomenclature, how symbols, formulas are used in inorganic systems. I have already explained about this. And bioinorganic chemistry. So this is based on the university curriculum. In almost in the last semester, we can find this topic, bioinorganic chemistry. So almost whatever syllabus that given by the university belongs to this chapter. Environmental chemistry on the 38th chapter. Chapters are organized for the easiness of students. So you can read just like a book, a literature book, because the language they are using very understandable. Okay. Moving to the 39th, nuclear chemistry. The popularity, sale, that's the point, sale, and wide applicability of this book among students as well as teachers is due to the organized chapters covering entire syllabus of their curriculum. That's the excellent point. Nuclear chemistry, you cannot find a book that comprises all this data into a single book. You cannot find anywhere. That's the reason why Puri Sharma Skalia's Principles of Inorganic Chemistry find a unique position still. Evaluation of analytical data, I have already explained previously. Volumetric titrations, that's the final chapter. The questions, you can see the questions. See, after the end of each chapter, this is the nuclear chemistry, you can see the questions covering objective essay types are based on the syllabus of university curriculum, which is acceptable to pan-India basis. Yes. The questions that are explained in this at the end of the chapter, they are used by the university academicians for their traditional exams. They have put the answer also. In certain cases, they have mentioned the theory questions, so we can use this to test the students' caliber and how much they have understand. Because in almost, if you have this book, if you rely on this book, you can understand the basics. Whether nuclear chemistry, you can see the entire topic is covered in this book. These questions not only useful for traditional board exam but support competitive examinations such as GATE, JEE, CSIR, UGC, NET, SET and TET for teachers eligibility test, UPSC, SSC, etc. Yes. The price. I bought this book in 2010. At that time, I have purchased it at the 365 rupees. See, you can see the price here. Outside India, it is 665. It's a very low cost. But the importance of this book is, in some universities, teachers are saying that relying on this book will not improve your language. No, I don't think that much, because first you have to understand the chemistry background or the concept. First, so for that, this is a perfect companion. And after that, you can read the Huhi's textbook or J.D. Lee's textbook or any other advancement, solid state chemistry where Anthony Arvast and all. You can read any other book. But buying this book is a perfect option. Must buy. Principles of Inorganic Chemistry at the 56th edition. See, it is the 56th edition in the 2010-20 by B.R. Puri, L.R. Sharma. This is the 56th edition. So, you must either you buy 31st edition that I already have. So, in 56th edition, they have added many other chapters also on the basis of the suggestions from university. So, it's around 777. See, this is the page that I have captured from Amazon. When I bought this book at 365 rupees, that is in 2010, now it is 14 years back. So you can buy this book. It's a must buy one. And the conclusion, this book adequately covers the entire topic in inorganic chemistry, which includes modern advancement theories as well. Hence, this book can be rightly called modern inorganic chemistry. Yes. A perfect handbook to students as well as teachers for their curriculum following syllabi in universities, institution in Indian continent. Because of all chapters and chapter-wise problems are organized accordingly. Concept, theories, derivations, if necessary, are well explained. Author's main intention is clearly visible that to support the students for their excellence. Use of layman language, that is plain English, simple mathematical derivations needs only higher secondary science background to understand. This book can be treated as a perfect companion to researchers, professionals, chemists as well, for improving their basic knowledge if they are pursuing, especially in inorganic field of studies. Yes, so I recommend this book. I recommend this book to buy, must buy book for you to understand the basics of inorganic chemistry. We can say this is a perfect textbook and a perfect reference material for if you are pursuing your career in inorganic chemistry. Must buy it, and this is my review. Thank you very much.